Hello everybody, my name is Asanumuya. I'm going to talk about spill preventions and environmental observation and intervention, right? So spills prevention, it simply means that to protect some of these oil company, the machines that they are using there, for it not to be contaminated. And if their machine gets contaminated, what are the solutions they can use? So they have a term that they call SPCC. What is SPCC in this context? It means spilling preventions and controls and counter measures. What are the counter measures in this context? It simply means that the solution that you put in case of the machine gets spoiled or the machine gets contaminated, what you should do. So I'm going to explain some of the steps that you can prevent some of this machine they are using in oil company. It's not only oil company, you have some bigger company like factories which they have their machines, right? So to prevent their machine, what are the steps that people need to do, the safety mechanism for all employees that are working in some of these big factories that are doing production? So spill prevention, I'm going to highlight about 7 points. The first point talking about spill preventions and migration. What are we supposed to do? Every staff or employee need to observe using of their secondary containment, right? So they have to observe this equipment, whether it has a leakage or a crack at the side, so need to be observed properly. Then we're talking about observation of the remediation, right, of spilling. So you have to observe this machine, right, if there is any leakage or if there is any contamination, right? So every staff that's working in factory, you have to be vigilant of the machines that you have that are doing your productions, or also this machine for oil company, right? If it has any crack on it, or if it has like electrical problem, so all these things need to be rectified, because otherwise it can lead to contamination of the oil, right? Like let's say like a big oil company, right? A big oil production company, right? Then point number 2, we're talking about resources and conservation and efficiency. What is it in this context? You have to observe the minimizations of electrical consumption. So right, in every areas in factory, you have to reduce the consumptions of electrical power. Let's say for instance, if there is a high voltage, you have to reduce the bulb system, the lamp light system, right, to fluorescent bulb, to reduce the power, right, because it can produce high electrical supply. Then also you have to minimize the water consumptions in every factories or oil company. You have to minimize the oil water. How you can minimize the water, right? Is like, for instance, you have to reduce the amount of people that are using water and the supply, the gauge water. You check how many water are they using per day. Then also you're talking about observation, minimize the fuel consumption, right? So if you are using any gas system, you have to minimize it, try to minimize it, right, to reduce the cost. Then we're talking about point number 3, talk about washing bay operation. What is a washing bay operation? You have to observe using of the decreasing and cleaning